on. We're here with Cindy and Jeff, and we're in their house actually right now, about to taste through a bunch of their different products. If you've checked out the rest of the video that we have so far, we've got a big tour of the farm, learning about the different peppers they're growing. But now we actually get to do a little bit of a tasting. So thanks for having us in your humble abode. Like, it's so nice to be in this space. Like we were talking about this earlier. Like, it just has a good feeling. So thanks for hosting us. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you for coming out. We've got a variety of products. I'm not sure what you all want to try first. I know we sent you a box of some stuff a number of months ago, so some of this you may have already had. We both actually will generally recommend, if you want to try the hotter things, to try the less hot ones first, because once you get to this end, or the really hot stuff, you're not even going to taste or appreciate the other stuff.
I hope you have milk or ice cream nearby, because
we have milk, we have ice cream, and I have a ball peen hammer.
Oh, good.
The temple wants it. Yeah,
I think we're gonna. By the end, I will be in trouble. Ryan has a really high heat tolerance. You may have known that about him. He has somewhere on his arm, he's got a hot sauce tattoo, which
very
is
nice.
Sort of the story of Ryan, but he goes a little bit harder than I do on hot sauces. So, but yeah, let's jump in somewhere. Actually, too. But before we taste, what is the very quick history or story? Why are you here growing peppers?
Oh, well, that's individual on both of us, because we both moved to Colorado from different places. I came from the east end of Long Island in New York. I lived on the beach, working film, television, advertising, and growing heirloom tomatoes and other things on the side. I technically retired, got out of all of that 7.5 years ago, wanted to grow heirloom tomatoes and other things full-time and not do anything related to feature films, television, or advertising. So I drew a circle around Pueblo with a 30-mile radius and started hunting. Came out a couple of times. I found Fowler. A couple of years later, Cindy and I met. She was living in Pueblo. She had moved here from Kansas. And we met the old-fashioned way. We met online. It was 4.5 years ago.
During COVID.
When there was no restaurants or anything. And she moved out here, and we looked at the field and said, okay, what else can we do? We weren't interested in competing with the Pueblo chilies or the Rocky Ford melons, the established, the sort of backbone of the local agricultural community. And we love spicy, we love cooking, and actually she came up with the Scotch Bonnets, to give credit where credit is due. And we started out with a few rows as a test, and then it kind of spiraled out of control from there. You can add to that.
We got the cats playing with the lavalier microphone.
It's all good. That's the best part about the lever. I came in and I was greeted by all these beautiful little kittens. So, like we said, we have coffee, we have hot pepper.
So the Scotch Bonnets started because I did a lot of research, and we were trying to do something different. We wanted to be different. We didn't want, you've got all these farms out here that, they all grow watermelons. They all grow Rocky Ford melons, or the same tomato, okay, which is
I can't remember the name
San
of it.
Manzanola or something like that.
Yeah, they've been growing it here for generations.
That is the normal tomato, right? We wanted to do something different and unique. And so we did some research, or I did some research on the Scotch Bonnets, and that was where I found out that there's such a demand here in the United States for the Scotch Bonnet, but no one was growing it. They were all being imported, and the import supply chain during COVID and whatnot was slim. So big demand for Scotch Bonnets here. So that was the top thing that we decided: heirloom tomatoes
and Scotch
Bonnets.
That's where it started. And then we realized that the Scotch Bonnets dried bring huge amounts of orders and fantastic money per pound. So we started planting more, and then other peppers that we decided on the super hots, because we started making Scotch Bonnet sauces, Scotch Bonnet hot jams, and the response from the general public was overwhelming. So we said we need to do more of this. This year we're growing 60 varieties of the world's hottest peppers, from Carolina Reapers on down, and 10 types of heirloom tomatoes. So over the last 4 or 5 years, it's expanded. But what it's allowed us to do, and I guess more importantly, what it's allowed the salsa companies we grow for, the people messing with their own hot sauces or specialty salsas or whatever they're making at home, what it's allowed them to do is probably one of the more rewarding sides to it. even at the market, we hear all the time, hey, we got A, B, and C from you last week or 2 weeks ago, and we made, C, D, and E, this hot sauce or this sauce. Sometimes they even bring us samples of stuff.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
the best.
It's amazing.
So
It's
how about
fun.
we have Jeff start, and while he's doing that, Cindy, could you just tell us about the product line we're sitting in front of? What is
Okay.
everything that people can find at the market in Old Colorado City when they shop? You could just, shout out the items.
So we have the maple nuts, which I know you like our nuts.
And
Yeah.
deliciously, right?
These are made with Reapers.
Reapers, okay.
Reapers, yeah. There.
And they're a pecan coated with a pure maple syrup and 60% dark Ghirardelli chocolate.
Yeah.
And we created these, and just on a whim, it was one of our, I think, first actual food-related spicy good that we experimented with. We brought them out to market, and people loved them.
It went nuts, literally.
Yeah, people went nuts over them.
Cool.
And so it's a product that we do still offer. We sell these online as well.
Okay.
So you can get these
The
on
best
our
thing is
website,
to grab a
at the
chip,
market. You can get them
grab
here.
a
And then we have a few dried peppers that we do that are in big demand. Of course, we talked about the bonnets. We sell those on Amazon, Walmart, eBay, Etsy, and then we sell them here. We sell a lot of the salsa companies locally will reach out to us. We've got someone reaching out from, where was she from? North Carolina?
South Carolina wants bulk bonnets because there's none available. She just moved from Connecticut, I guess, to South Carolina. It's a perfect example of the calls that we get of people looking for the bonnets
tasty.
or particular ghost peppers or particular types of habaneros, and they're like, we can't find them anywhere. They find us online and say, hey, do you have? And luckily, generally, the answer is, yeah, we've got that. And it's part of the fun also. You're shipping the stuff all over the country, and well, what are you going to make? And the list is endless.
So what's the correlation between pepper plant and then yield from the pepper plant and then furthermore yield after drying?
Correlation?
So you start with X amount of pounds per plant that you're getting off of that plant.
Fresh peppers.
And then fresh peppers, but there's a water content to that. So
Oh,
then
yes.
after the drying process, do you have sort of an inkling of how much you're going to get, knowing that you have X
We
amount
do.
to start
For
with?
every pound of peppers, you're going to get roughly a quarter pound dried.
So they're like
So
3/4
I can
water.
tell you, because from bagging up our bonnets, it takes 18 to 20 dried bonnets to make 1 ounce.
Yeah. By the time
So-
they're dry, it's that many. Like these bags are
Yeah, they
1
don't
ounce
weigh-
bags.
they don't
There's
weigh very
18
much.
or 20 bonnets in that bag to make 1 single ounce of it dried.
Product.
Where if it's not dried, 3 or 4 peppers would make that
Right.
1 ounce.
Yeah.
That's the first thing we just tried, by the way, while
So
we're
you
talking.
just tried the pineapple mango peach Scotch bonnet. This is one of our fan favorite sauces.
It's incredible.
It's really good.
People love it. You can use it on chicken as a marinade.
I was just about that. Chicken was the
fish,
first thing that came.
Lots of things. I can tell you from experience, any of our hot jams are these sauces. He makes a breakfast sandwich. I will put any of this on it.
They're great on eggs.
It's great on everything.
Any type of. One thing that we've heard this year, it's the first time we've heard about it, especially with some of like the strawberry fire, the afterburner, the heavy fruit-based hot sauces. People are now using them in mixed drinks. They're adding them to cocktails.
Are adding a little olive oil and a little
Oh.
vinegar and making a salad dressing with them. Our Riparacha especially has been used. We get customers that are turning it to the purple label,
Yep.
turning that into a salad dressing.
Spicy salad dressing, spicy cocktails. One of the things I guess it's important to discuss that led us to all of this is there's a huge trend and movement nationwide. Spicy. You see it
Yes.
everywhere, from the chain restaurants to the candy at the gas station to advertising. Everybody's jumped on the spicy bandwagon because people want spice. And we've kind of tried to capitalize on that, to be honest.
Not only the spice, but the flavors.
Right, because everyone has Tabasco, or they have like the
Right.
really hot ones that are just capsaicin extract.
Yes.
But like I noticed just looking at the ingredients is that everything's like a normal type of food that you can read. It's not like
There are no additives.
There's no
We
additives.
don't add
No
anything
preservatives.
that we wouldn't want to put in our bodies. We don't want you to put in yours either.
and that's great, and that's usually where like I being that connoisseur of hot sauce, I gravitate towards ones where they're putting more of the culinary type sauce. It's not just vinegar and heat.
And that's unfortunately what most hot. I mean, it's not unfortunate. Vinegar and heat hot sauces.
It's the way
have
it's
their
Some people
place,
love it.
but we find it boring. Plus, when you make something like this, you're getting a full range flavor package from the sweet to the spices we add, and then the hot peppers. And layering those flavors, blending those flavors to get this type of product is, we spend a lot of time with it, and it's a lot of fun.
So they're all jam based. So I don't know if you know the jam process. It takes a little bit of time to do. So from macerating the fruit, because we don't use pectin. We don't add water.
So using the natural pectins in the fruit.
Yep.
That's
themselves.
correct. You cook them down long enough, any fruit is going
Can
to
really expect it. 8 hours
gel,
later,
okay?
it's good.
Sometimes it does take 8 hours. We've been there.
Yes.
But when you're cooking it down like that, you're going to get all the flavors of that fruit. So that's why most of our sauces are fruit forward, I will say, because you're going to get that hit of fruit first. Maybe not with the 7 peppers. I'm not sure.
No, 7 peppers still
7
has.
peppers
It still has
is a cherry
very
base, but I'm not so
brief-
sure I taste
It
any
has a
cherry
very
in it.
brief fruit flavor. We'll
But-
get to that one. That's
but
one
I'm
of
a
our
wimp.
hottest.
I mean,
So-
cherries is the first ingredient, and cherry
Yes.
juice. So like, it's there probably.
Yes,
but
it-
but when you get to that many peppers, it's,
I'm saying for me because I'm a wimp. So for me, all I taste is heat and that.
But again, the jam's the same way. It's a full range of flavors. I've cooked professionally, semi-professionally, on and off for many years. Hadn't for a long time. Before I got my first break in New York, I was a private chef for rather wealthy people in the city and out in the Hamptons. And then I got my first big break, and I didn't have to do that. I've kind of come full circle with the cooking and adding more and more of these products, the baked goods, the other things. It's the one thing we like about the farmers market up in Old Colorado City is it's our test base. You'll get a couple hundred or more people every Saturday who will try your stuff. And if they love it, you know you're onto something. If they snub it, we probably should try it one more time for one more market. And if it doesn't work, it gets nuked.
Yes.
It's part of the fun because you get all kinds of reactions from all kinds of people who have all kinds of personal, preferences for food, for hot sauce, for hot jam, for spicy coffee, and so it is the ultimate test market for us. We love it.
What's the next bite for us right now?
Next bite for you. Well,
I
we
sound
started
impatient,
with,
but
Yeah.
I'm excited to try these.
the mid-range.
that one is delicious.
You got to try it.
Let's
I'm
go
sure he has some. I mean, he's going to taste every single one of them. He'll say he's not going to, but he's going to.
So we do make an extreme version of the one you just tried that is hotter,
Like-
but we sold out on that
Yeah.
one. It's exactly the
You get a
same, only we had a lot more heat in it. So it was
I can
more
see
for
how yeah.
like your in
Yeah.
his range of people. This is more for like my people's range.
So tell
But we do
So the
make
next thing to try is grab a little piece of that's a fruit bread
Okay.
from Styria Bakery, who we love. We eat a lot of their stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally.
which one are you giving him?
Which one's this one?
This
Uh-oh.
is no,
Just
it's
making a mess.
Island Infusion-based hot jam.
And I know we're not going to try everything because we've eaten
Right.
for 2 hours.
So
but
the
walk us
bonnet-
through the other jam flavors you have too.
Oh gosh, we have a range. I mean, you
This is
name
from
it.
Matt,
We've
so-
got. I've got flaming
It's not
fruit,
bad.
which
It's
is
not-
a
it's not
mix.
that bad.
We've got strawberry. We've got peach. We've got blackberry. We've got the pineapple, which is what you're just having. Is the pineapple, mango. There's
This is with
blueberries.
berries.
They're all
Oh,
different
all
peppers. This
different
one that
peppers.
you just had has a Scotch bonnet in it. That's why we call it Bonnet Island.
Delicious.
We actually make a regular jam that's called Island Jam Infusion. And it's the same thing, only without the pepper, because
Okay.
we do have people that like regular jams too. So we
What?
try to
No.
we try to
They
we
do.
try
They
to
do.
accommodate everyone. But that one particularly is one of our hotter jams.
Well, I feel like jams do well at farmers markets.
They
like,
do.
People just, I go to farmers markets and I see jam and I go, ooh, I want
Well,
that.
if you take a farmer's market, like take one of our jams and you go buy a store jam and you sit down and you compare the two, you'll see the difference. You'll taste the difference. There's a huge difference
these are
between
shit.
a store-bought jam and a homemade,
What's the base? fruit on
artisan
this
type
one?
jam.
Blackberry.
Blackberry, okay.
This is a blackberry jalapeno. That's for Matthew. And again, we're not into any of the really hot stuff.
No, that's just delicious.
The nice thing with the medium heat products is, again, you're getting a range of flavor, correct? And that's what we're looking to do. If I can layer all those flavors into these different things, the hot jams, the hot sauces.
Really
Jalapeno.
interesting.
Jalapeno.
Yes, jalapeno. Okay. just those two together.
But like blackberry already has a little earthiness
Yes.
in it, and so you add that earthiness from the jalapeno, and it's
And
just
that's
like,
part of the fun and part of the challenge is matching these things up. Peppers, fruit, spice package that goes with them for something that has start to finish all of those flavors.
I'm not in a hot sauce like later I'm sure we're going to this
Yes,
right now.
we will.
Just has this nice slow smolder.
But you still taste the sweet too.
Absolutely, like
The flavor of the fruits.
Yeah, it's 20 seconds later, and I'm enjoying that. It's at its full flavor still.
Well, then
it's really good.
So do the
After
blueberry.
that, blueberry?
Yeah, do the blazing blueberry apricot.
Blazing blueberry apricot. You got it.
It looks like you make little breads and cookies too.
We do.
So
We
tell
do.
tell our listeners
So
about
we
that.
do make. We've just started. We're doing some test products at market, making banana nut bread, zucchini bread, some cookies, and some brownies. And they vary from mid-range to an extremely hot range. The cookies are probably our hottest bakery item, but people love them.
And what's in those? Which peppers?
Reaper mix.
So
It
Reaper
has
cookies.
Reapers, Hellboys, Marugas, KSLS in it. It's got a range of our super hot pepper mix, we call it.
And
all
I
ground up
made
together.
them, and I got a little heavy-handed as I usually
happens.
do when I'm making the super hot stuff, and it got kind of ugly hot on the cookies. We'll get to those later, and send you home with some
we'll
too.
finish.
Yeah, if you eat one of those cookies now, you will not taste anything else that we give you except dark chocolate and extreme heat.
Yes.
Okay.
So the blueberry that you just had actually has our Reaper mix in it, but it's not a heavy-handed Reaper mix. So it just
taste
goes to
it,
show
but just
that
barely.
you can actually use the Reaper if you use it sparingly in other products and make it edible for everyone.
that was good.
But that's hotter than the one before, correct?
But you see, there's only 4 ingredients in the entire thing.
Right, and that's what I love to see, like blueberries, apricots, sugar, spicy pepper powder, ginger, and vanilla.
Lemon,
Like-
maybe lemon. There might not be lemon juice in that. 'Cause
Not in that one.
blueberries actually will.
They have
Blueberries
enough
are
of that-
very
They have enough
acidic by
acidity,
nature.
Yeah, I mean, I love the just simple nature of it because I think that's something like
mango.
you said when you compare it to the store bought things. You look.
You okay?
If you, I'm fine. I like hiccuped and then was like, oh, what's that? But when you
Try the blackberry mango. That's our
Oh, that's
hottest
the newest
hot
one.
jam. That's our newest.
but you said comparing like flavor with the store bought ones, but I think if you look at the ingredients,
Yes,
store bought
that's
ingredients,
right. That's
all
right.
these different,
And some of them aren't good for you. If you look at some of the red dyes and the dyes that
right,
they use,
they're gonna have a bunch of additives that isn't a 5 ingredient.
That's correct.
And when you're, when you have I have a 5-year-old at home. If my 5-year-old can read and pronounce everything on the label,
Then you
I
know
know
it's edible,
it's going to be
right?
pretty good.
I feel
So-
like these would make a really nice line of it. We're like,
Yes,
as
we
a-
do
as
have
a kid-
customers that actually eat these hot jams on peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, why not? Like
that
that's the
one's-
first association you get as a kid is with
So
your PB&J. So
we
Almost got good
we had
looking.
customers requesting that I make a hotter hot jam this year. So
that's
this is the
gonna-
blackberry mango. It does
gonna
have
start-
Reaper in
start
it.
the burn.
It's got Reaper in it, but it is also
Delicious.
spot on for the heat level that the customers were looking for.
Hasn't hit yet.
Really?
not yet.
No, it's got the blackberry, the tartness from the blackberry. The mango has a little bit of that almost like sweaty tropical fruit flavor that sort of makes the heat doesn't go as quickly.
With this,
Okay.
And it would
Good.
be progressive if you ate 2 or 3
More bites.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're gonna build.
I'm giving you the.
We don't want to hurt you. We
yeah.
want to get through the rest
No,
of
that,
it.
Right.
that's
I also want to make sure you can drive home safely. To drop while we're on the highway.
But we made this about 2 weeks ago. We made this.
No, it's been
Actually,
more about 3 weeks
probably
ago.
about 3 weeks ago.
So
Brand
with
new product.
with those jammed products, do you find that the flavors intensify in the jar over time, or do they mellow out over time?
No, I think
or a
that
little both?
I think that with the flavors of those, the longer they sit, especially with like our savory jalapeno candies or our prairie candy, the relishes, the longer those sit, the better they get.
Okay.
All the
But like
flavorings-
heat wise, does it go hotter as it sits?
Sometimes
Okay.
it does.
Sometimes it does. Yes.
Sometimes it
Because I've had some jellies and jams where
But then
I've
we
let
have-
it sit for a year and then I go, oh gosh, it's
Yeah, but
it's
then
really
you
hot.
then
Yeah.
you have the
It's-
things
it's
like
beyond what it was when it was like snackable hot.
And then you have the things like the pickle relish we were telling you that we made, the dill, atomic
Yeah.
dill, that actually mellowed out and the heat went away in it, which was good because it was way too hot. I mean,
So it mellowed and made it more
mellowed
edible.
all the
good.
spices and stuff that we added to it just kind of melded together and toned it down. So it just depends, I think, on what the ingredients are on it. That had a little bit more, because it had the pickles in it, and it did have a little vinegar in it and whatnot. You gonna start with that?
We're ready.
They've had a bunch of them.
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, all right.
I mean, there's only so much.
So you're gonna get our St. Lucia's Brains right now, and this one is on the upper range of our heat.
Okay.
It's mangoes and coyote. Mangoes and coyote, which coyote is a squash. I don't know if you guys know what that is. So I try to experiment with, natural ingredients, things that I can get some flavor from.
The squash in that is very interesting. I don't know if I've had a hot sauce or like a hot.
The smell and the initial makes you think it's gonna be one of those hot, quick vinegar.
Yeah.
But it's not. It goes right into like this rich depth, and it has like more. I hate to use the word mouthfeel on a hot sauce tasting or whatever, but It's
citrusy quality to it, but that almost is like a pumpkin puree because of the squash in there.
Yep.
Like it has that nice sort of. You can taste the fibrous bits it almost.
And then you get the heat at the end.
That's definitely starting to elevate. That's awesome.
I didn't think that was hot.
That didn't scratch.
But you can feel it.
I can feel it. Oh, it's there. It's a great, nice low burn, but it's like this. That's I would call that a simmer.
Yep. But if you eat 3 or 4 again, chips,
yeah,
you're gonna build it to a point where you'll be like, that's nice and warm.
Yeah.
But again, we don't want to make things that'll kill you right off the first bite because personally, we'd like the customers to enjoy it.
And come back and buy more.
And bottle on bottle or jar after jar,
Yeah.
not just a tiny little bit.
We talked about that first when we tried. You made me think of chicken.
Right.
What do you get? What would you want to cook with that? What would you think of when you
Shrimp.
first tried that?
Grilled shrimp. Yeah.
That one is weird, really weird, but that's one that I would just sit with like a nacho cheese Dorito and just pour it on them.
Oh yeah.
Add a
Drink
little
it
bit,
right out of the
add a little
bottle.
bit of cheesiness to it, and then just basically drink it out of the bottle.
I was thinking of just a white fish, just something. It has
It'd be good
that
on fish with
islandy
the mango and the squash in
Yeah.
it. Would
So
be-
I noticed there's no pumpkin spice hot sauce. Are you avoiding the pumpkin spice latte?
Absolutely, 110%. We
Yes.
will never make pumpkin spice anything. And if I do, you're both welcome to come down here and beat me with a board. Because
We'll just throw pumpkins at you. Is what we'll do. That's what we'll do.
Drop pumpkins from a
We'll
helicopter.
stop by
on it.
on the way,
Yep.
and then we'll just.
We're not going there. We won't go there. I personally don't like the pumpkin spice stuff.
I'm
I know
not
a lot
a
of
It
people.
was a loaded
person.
question, so
Yep. We get it. But
I think you have enough flavors that are either similar
So before you
or
go too hot,
anyways.
spread out.
yeah, I was going to because the bread will actually tone down.
So
Tell me what we're about to have now.
this is the banana nut bread
Okay.
and zucchini bread, and the zucchinis, of course, came out of our field that I used. We used Romanesco zucchini, cranberry, and pecans. And the banana nuts, I didn't grow the bananas, of course, but the other one is chocolate and banana nut.
Okay.
With, I believe the zucchini has, I need to see the package, babe. I think the banana nut has Scotch Bonnet in it, and then this one has our Reaper mix in it.
This
a
is
roulette.
Scotch Bonnet.
Yep,
and
this one
roulette.
that one says Scotch Bonnet for the.
Oh, these are
those
cookies.
doubled.
Okay.
But again, the spice, the heat, lends itself to pretty much any product, any food item you can think of. Make it work if you don't put too much in or don't try to overdo it or et cetera, et cetera. What do you think of the bread?
Those are really nice.
Different.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what we're shooting for. The coffee, different. The breads, it's different.
Well, it adds a different dynamic. So the peppers, you get that flavor. It cuts off. Now you have this continuation of the story. It's a nice little smolder, and again more character.
How are you?
More richness. So,
And it's clean.
just a nice heat.
And it's again, there's no preservatives, homemade in a giant commercial kitchen up in Colorado Springs.
That's right. You prep off
Where's
Chef's
Chef's
Kitchen on 8th
Kitchen?
Chef's
Street, right?
Kitchen on 8th Street.
Love that
place
kitchen.
has changed everything for us.
That's cool.
We
So, I mean-
moved from cottage, okay,
Yeah.
small because it's just the two of us. Everything was a very small batch, still is. To wholesale food licenses, retail licenses, etc., and a commercial kitchen. Chef's Kitchen, we go up every Monday, and the efficiency, what it's allowed us to expand into, it's opened possibilities for things that we never thought of
So
before.
I like it because we did drive about an hour and 15 minutes down here. So people might say, "Oh, this isn't even a local product." You're like, "Wait a minute, these guys
It
are
is.
growing right outside of our region, and they're prepping and processing in Colorado Springs and selling in Colorado Springs at the market." So
Exactly.
this is very much a local product, the way I see it.
Well, and the thing is, you can see Pikes Peak from basically a long ways away. I know Denver.
We can see it from here.
Denver claims that they can see it easier than, but I feel like you can see it better from here. And as long as you can see,
we have
the
other
peak,
mountains we can see.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, like, as long as you can see Pikes Peak region.
Yes.
And if you think about like local produce, there's the Venatucci pumpkin beer that Bristol has done. When Venatucci having hard times with the PFCs in the water there and everything, they went to Millburger down here in Pueblo to get their pumpkins. So we are, a bit ways mileage-wise, but it's all one big agricultural community.
Yeah. And we drove by known places. If you go to the Margarita at Pine Creek Farmers Market, you'd see Doug Wiley, and he's out of Avondale, which is we drove right.
Yep.
We drove past Frost Farms turnoff, so Security Fountain area. So local.
The
food
Mesa is that way too. You came past it.
Morrow, everybody else is up
The
there.
hard thing about
Where all the Pueblo chilies are grown.
Yeah, and the hard thing about all of the agriculture is that as Colorado Springs has expanded, it's gotten rid of all that farmland. So you have to. It's hard to say, like, just pick Colorado Springs local, because you're either doing these small backyard places, or you have to expand what your term is for local.
I'm just glad it's important to have the conversation and promote and support these local.
I was eyeing this
celebrate
one.
what's in our region.
You were eyeing the
this
peach.
is good.
This
Jam
is
that I make at home.
this is actually a favorite at market as well.
Of
Of course, we have the Palisade peaches here in Colorado, so people love anything made with peaches.
That's delicious.
This is just a Scotch and just a Scotch bonnet pepper
Yeah,
that's mixed in with this. I might have put ginger in it. I don't remember. Cardamom?
spices.
I didn't put. There might be some cardamom in there, and maybe a little bit of ginger.
It's delicious. It matches perfectly with that.
But again,
pepper.
another perfect use for the Scotch bonnet that
It's
repeats
weird.
in a lot of our products.
A compliment is I can somehow butter in there, like peach cobbler, like with the butter in the crust or something.
Really?
I'm getting something that's not there.
Probably because the peaches get cooked down so much for the old-fashioned jam approach
That
first
savory-
that
Yes.
it gets almost that creamy.
All
yep.
fruit will do that, by the way. At least from
If
my
you cook it
experience.
down far
If you
enough.
cook it long enough, you're gonna get it's gonna taste like the most amazing fruit that you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
The problem is most people doing jams, hot sauces, and everything else, they're using a short, quick process. Understandable. It has to be efficient. We take the opposite approach. Super small batch, maybe couple dozen jars, couple dozen bottles at a time, 36.
2 or 3 max.
43 was what used to fit in our water processor, and so that was our large batch, was 43. That's not large. So we've put the time in. And again, the commercial kitchen up on 8th in Colorado Springs, we're there every Monday. It's, again, allowed us to do, instead of doing one of these at a time here, we're doing 3 or 4 plus a bunch of other stuff all at the same time on an 8-hour, 10-hour run-up in the kitchen, and it's awesome.
That sounds fun.
Absolutely.
All right,
Oh, it
what's
is
next? I'm
Yeah, I
ready to
think
hotter territories.
Let's definitely jump.
Hotter.
Let's
I
jump up.
say that now, but when
Babe,
I'm
why don't
hurting
you
later,
try
I'll regret
relish?
that.
Relish.
Ooh, that's a
Out
good
front
call.
here, your spicy relish in the big jar.
So
Or
like
try the
a smoked spicy
jalapeno.
right now?
Do the
Let's
jalapeno
do the
first.
jalapeno.
Are we looking at about 40 unique products you sell?
There is. I think we have about 42 total.
This
42 and growing. Here you are.
Yeah.
You might get an idea.
Well,
just do something.
we've actually been
Just
discussing
dip it.
trying to maybe
Hand it on.
downsize some of the products because
Yes.
we're having to make so much, and to maybe like take 6 or
That's good.
7 from each line that is the most popular, and maybe phase out some of the others. But who knows? I mean, we sell all of these sell.
That's
We
something-
went
It is
totally different,
Smoked
different side of the world
jalapeno
for that.
relish. Yes.
that
and,
is delicious.
and he
Yeah,
does
wild.
smoke the peppers.
Only half of them, though.
Yes.
I find in a lot of smoked products that people put too much smoke in the grill onto them. And so I'll smoke half the peppers, leave the other half unsmoked, and I think it just balances it better. You can overwhelm something with smoke, and that's, again, would lose a couple
Right.
layers of the flavor if I
What do you
did
like
that.
to smoke with? Is there a specific wood chip or
Cherry.
Apple,
Apple
cherry.
or cherry,
Okay.
but generally cherry.
And what comes to mind with this product? What would you recommend cooking with it, or is this
Oh,
just to eat
gosh.
it with chips, enjoy it?
We put it on
Burgers.
burger buns,
Love it
hot
on my
dog
burger.
buns, sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches. The problem with doing this,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you have addictions, is you put it on everything, absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So this one is a different level.
This one is our smoked spicy, and it has a variety of the super hots in it, the big boys. And this
22
one,
hot
I
peppers
will
in there.
eat it, even though it's way above my heat level. But if I put a real thin layer of this on my burger, which I will do every time we have
so
a
good.
burger, and it is absolutely delicious. It
22.
elevates the burger.
Like 22 varieties of
Of
pepper?
peppers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Sometimes when people go overboard on like the number of peppers, I feel like they compete. But here, I think they play into that
And
overall
that's
flavor.
We
knowing
try to
the
pick the
peppers,
ones
and
that
there's
will
certain
melt
peppers that you
together.
couldn't put.
Like
they
I would
do
not
it.
put cayenne.
overwhelm, and
I
they
wouldn't put, jalapeno.
What do you think
I
on
don't
that?
know
Yeah.
if we have jalapeno in that or
What
not.
you're saying, it's sort of like dumb or cheesy analogy, but it's like there's a symphony and everyone's in tune, and it all comes to one coherent message, and it's hard to single out any one thing because it's so complex, but the end flavor is this unique.
Right. There's not something that's like spiking out as the.
Yeah. What I like to, on my palate, some of these are a little bit more sideburn, some are a little bit backburn. Top of my tongue right now feels nothing on this particular bite. Some of them are hitting right up front on the front of it to see how they hit you and where they show up. Like you were saying earlier, you usually end here, but on that one really hot experience, you're in your body a sensation. So, yeah, we'll see where the endorphins take it. Yeah, I think we should.
That's one of our best sellers.
If you're at the market, start there. That's fantastic. That'll get you hooked on trying more
And
things.
we offer samples at market to all of our stuff. You can try it before you buy it, because personally, I've gone to the store and I've bought a sauce and I get it home and I'm like, ugh. Now I've just wasted my money on a sauce that I'm going to throw in the trash. So we don't want you wasting your money. We know money is tight these days. So we want you to try it. We want you to be happy with it. We want you to really enjoy it.
I
before
imagine too that
you know,
the important part is with you guys. I'm not sure when you're going to burn me out and when you're just going to like sort of smolder me, right? So I would think it's important to try it so you pick your heat level too.
That's right.
And so if you, hey, I'm a mid-range spicy person, that's the jam for me. Or take it to the high end.
Yes,
But
yes.
I like that. It's nice to. I mean, that's what's special about being at market, meeting the growers, having these conversations.
Pretty candy for you.
He's making a face. I think this is about to be really spicy.
No, it's not bad at all.
So
Okay.
these are Bulgarian carrot peppers. This is the product that, we started making
are nice, they're
cowboy
sweet.
candy.
He's got to look. He's waiting for me
Cowboy candy,
is
which is
sweet.
made with the jalapenos. So we decided that we wanted to do a different take on it, and these Bulgarian carrot peppers are the texture is a lot like a jalapeno, only you get they have a natural smoky taste to them.
Yeah, that's
And
smoked, but they're not smoked. That's
Sweet,
natural right from the pepper.
smoky.
That's great.
These have
Yeah.
not been smoked. They're sweet, smoky, and they're hot.
Is that kind of like when often you get that inherent smokiness?
Yes.
It's similar.
Chipotles, Bulgarian carrots, chalakas all have a natural
Smoky
smoky,
taste.
heat to them.
Do you grow chipotles too? I don't know if we've talked
We
about
don't.
it. We don't. Like that's absent in our combo. Is that
Yes.
another intentional decision to get away from a common pepper? or-
Everybody knows chipotle peppers.
We like to be unique, so we're
You're
going to
doing
grow.
different things.
You're going to find things here on our farm that you're not going to probably find anywhere else.
Easiest way to find our products this time of year is at the Old Colorado City Farmers Market in Bancroft Park every Saturday. Runs from 7 to 1. Other than that, ColoradoScotchBonnets.com. Order a lot of our products there. More of them will be available a little more closer to the fall. You can hit us up on Facebook,
Instagram.
Leaning Tree Microfarm. Our farm stand here, open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, starting in another week. And otherwise, if there's something you really need, call me. We'll take care of it.
And another week is basically around late August. We're filming today on the
September-ish.
18th, so
Yeah.
September it'll be running.
Yes.
Well, thank you again for the invite to the farm, into your home to try all these wonderful products. This is really special. These are unique, and I love the story about how you brought these Scotch bonnets
amazing.
to Colorado and have made a mark.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.